He died, only to find out death isn't the end. Here's what happened. Welcome everyone. I will share the near-death experiences of those who have passed away and witnessed the other side. If you enjoy these videos, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell for new content. It's free and it helps the channel grow. Please note that this was translated from Spanish. Get comfortable, grab a cup of coffee or tea, and let's dive into today's experience. Ever since I can remember, I've had mystical, paranormal, or metaphysical experiences. In this post, I'll try to describe some of them. When I was at home, my grandparents or mother would talk about deceased relatives in a warm way, and sometimes pictures would fall from the wall, or strange things would happen. Later in life, I realized that these were normal occurrences, as if someone from another realm wanted to communicate but didn't know how. In 1985, my wife and son were sick with the flu, so they were resting in bed. I was in the living room reading a metaphysics book by Connie Mendes. I came across a paragraph that said, "If you need help, just ask for it." So I prayed, "God, please help Patricia and Eddie get well," and that was it. Later that evening after supper, we put our son to bed, and Patricia and I went to bed too. Late at night, I heard footsteps in our apartment's corridor, sounding just like my grandfather's. I felt his presence in our room, and I even saw the mattress sink as if someone had sat on it. Mentally, I heard him say, "You asked for help, so I'm here to help." This communication reassured me that everything would be okay, although I was scared and woke up my wife to tell her what happened. Since then, I've had regular communication with my deceased loved ones. In 1994, a man tried to rob me and stabbed me 3 times, in my thigh, stomach, and hand. I yelled for help, and luckily the thief left. Paramedics took me to the nearest hospital, and in the ambulance, I saw a beam of light through a scratch on the window pane. Thinking of my parents, I asked for help, and they telepathically reassured me, "Don't worry, son, you'll be fine. We have more important things to do. Catch you later." This communication also comforted me. In 2009, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer and underwent a radical prostatectomy on May 11, 2011. In July 2015, I had a relapse and received 43 radiations, causing several secondary side effects along with those from various medications. I was in pretty bad shape. When I was diagnosed, I felt afraid and angry, asking myself, why me? But within a week or two, with the support of my family and friends, I decided to accept cancer as a new, life-changing lesson. I was even grateful for it because not everyone has the opportunity to learn from a cancer experience. I've always been a very positive person and believe that things happen for a bigger purpose, even if we can't understand them at the moment. After the cancer surgery, I started working on myself through my higher self, focusing on health, meditating, chanting mantras, and staying as positive as possible. Despite being weak from bleeding, asthenia, adenomia, and malabsorption of food nutrients, which caused anemia and weight loss, I remained determined. Years went by, and I found myself in and out of hospitals for various reasons and illnesses, mostly due to the side effects of radiation and medicine. Throughout these struggles, I always hoped to have an out-of-body experience during surgeries, but it didn't happen until December 2021. I had intestinal surgery due to adhesions from previous surgeries, resulting in constipation and the removal of part of my jejunum. Post-surgery, I experienced internal bleeding and underwent another operation. Before the surgery, while sedated for an ultrasound, I had an incredible experience. In the ICU afterward, unable to speak, tears of joy and love streamed down my face. It was confusing for my wife Patricia and one of the ICU caregivers, but I gestured with my hands, conveying that everything was amazing and that I had seen it all. I shared with them that I had been with my grandfather and experienced immense beauty filled with all kinds of geometry, light, and love. Despite this uplifting experience, I remained in the ICU for 15 days, battling depression and coping with new side effects from medications. Despite the support of my family and friends, by December 2022, I began to feel exhausted and began isolating myself. Even during Christmas with my children at home, I felt disconnected and spent most of my time alone, finding solace in nature. On January 9, 2023, after an appointment with my doctor, I returned home feeling incredibly tired. Patricia helped me with everyday tasks, such as undressing and putting on pajamas as I struggled with fatigue. I held her arm and told her not to leave. She was just going to the other side of the room for some water and to turn on the TV for me to listen to music. Reluctantly, I released her arm, but little did I know I was letting go of life itself. She didn't realize what had happened until she found me motionless on the comfort chair. Frantically, she tried to wake me up, slapping my face and even pouring water on me, pleading, "Please don't do this to me. Eduardo, please don't do this to me." In the background of my senses, I was experiencing complete bliss. I felt a radiant light filled with energy warming my soul. Everything was beautiful, peaceful, and filled with indescribable music and immense love. I sensed the presence of my late parents, grandparents, and other loved ones. I was in what we call heaven, another realm, dimension, or density. Simultaneously, I could see what was happening around me and glimpse into the future. Despite the profound beauty of my experience, I felt deep sadness witnessing the suffering of my wife, children, family, and friends over my death. I could envision my own funeral, a heart-wrenching scene for everyone except my son Oceano. In a moment of pure telepathy, I heard God gently reminding me, "Remember that you have free will." It was then that I made the decision to come back. I knew I had to return to reassure everyone that death is not the end. It's simply a transition. We continue to exist and connect with our loved ones, even as we live in other realities. As I began to return to life, I saw paramedics in my room checking my vital signs. When one of them pressed into my sternum, I exclaimed, "Hey, that hurts." Sitting beside me was my friend Eva, who, in that moment, seemed to embody my mother, assuring me that everything was fine. Surrounding me were my wife, Patricia, our niece Tassie, Shirley, and David, my doctor. The whole experience lasted about 35 to 45 minutes, and everyone rejoiced to see me alive again. Hungry and grateful for a second chance, I asked for something to eat. Since that day on January 9th, I've been feeling better every day, with all my tests showing perfect results. After more than 6 years of being mostly bedridden and in and out of hospitals, I started swimming again 4 months ago and returned to work 2 months ago. This experience has profoundly changed my perspective, allowing me to see life in a more spiritual light. I am truly blessed. That concludes today's experience. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe and continue to be blessed.